of you have watched that movie, and then the book is called Law of Attraction. And that night I couldn't sleep. And then that moment I realized that is so true. And then sometimes what you focus, what you attract is somehow came true. Or like you call a deja vu, which is you fish like you imagine it before it's happening now, right? So this is what you attract, and then the universe is give it to you, and then the vibration and everything. So I don't talk too much because I'm so excited to invite my good friend. And then without further ado, I wanted to invite my good friend all the way from Belgium, but he's in New Zealand right now. And our Millionaire team member, Frederik, where are you?
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start?
Hello?
All right, great.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay,
I
awesome.
love your background.
Yeah, I'm in New Zealand.
Amazing.
Yeah, look at this beautiful view, like a little lake here.
Oh
we
my
just
goodness.
we just had the sunset, so it's awesome. I love New Zealand for that, like just amazing nature.
So what time is it over there now?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. And for some of you, I just want to let you know. And when I invite Frederik about a month ago, and he didn't think you have a second thought. He say yes to me. Yeah. And then this is what I really appreciate. And then no matter where he is, he just say, okay, just let me know when, and I will be there. So I really appreciate that. And you know, a lot of people are very new here. And do you mind to introduce introduce a bit about yourself, and what do you do?
Okay, yes, of course. So first I wanted to thank you for inviting me. I always say yes if I can help to inspire people to live a better life. I feel that's my purpose and mission in this life, so I like to focus on that. So thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.
And for the opportunity. And I also would like to say hi to everybody all around the world in Malaysia. I love Malaysia. I love to travel around the world. So my journey is actually, I started as an entrepreneur already when I was 16 years old. And at that time, I already had a vision that I wanted to have freedom. I think many of you here who are watching, in your mind, you're thinking about freedom. You just want to be free, financially free, physically free. You want to be able to travel around the world, live where you want to live, and spend your time on how you want to live, not by other people's commands. So I had that same vision. And when I was 16 years old already in the school banks, I was like dreaming about that picture. I wanted to be on the beach, having a business that I could run anywhere around the world. And that was my vision. And many people around me were laughing with that, I'll be honest, because I painted my picture in school. And the school teacher asked me, okay, show me what you draw. And I went in front of class and I presented, okay, this is me laying on the beach. I'm building my business and I'm traveling all around the world. And everybody was just laughing and saying, oh, the teacher said, that's impossible. You know, what you think, that's not how people have the business or work. They're normally in one place. They cannot just travel and make money like that. So only a couple of years later, I already have proven that it was possible. So at 17, 18 years old, I started my first business traveling to Bali. I was importing wooden furniture from Bali into Europe. And that business I worked for like 2 years. To be honest, all the investment I put in, I just make back after 2 years. So 2 years, there was like zero.
Wow.
no profit. But I learned so much from it because, you know, your focus, your determination. And what I recommend everybody who's listening, if you just get started, and some of you already starting much longer, it's so important to realize you're going to go through a lot of challenges in life. If you want to build your own business, your own freedom, it's part of it that you're going to go through lots of failures. And that's not a sign that you are not able to do it. That's just a sign that you are learning and growing. So failure is part of it. A bit after I started my internet business, and that went really well. I was making websites, I was making passive income. I was making 5-figure incomes at that time, and I was only 19 years old. So I was start traveling around, and I was really enjoying my life. But because I was spending so much time behind my laptop, my health got really bad. I was gaining weight. I was not so happy because if you're just by yourself, you're making good money online. Everybody dreams about a laptop business, right? That you can be anywhere around the world, and that's nice. But you also need social contact. You need community. It's super important, and I was missing that time. And I was looking around for ways to get in better shape, and that's when I was introduced to Herbalife. So that was my first introduction. Initially, my coach actually signed me up over the phone, and I got started with the products. And I wasn't really interested in the business because I was doing really well financially. I was more looking, okay, I want to get healthy. So within 3 months, I lost 17 kilos.
Wow.
I got lots of energy. I felt amazing. And that's when I was invited to come to a meeting. And that's where I got my first spark. Like, wow, this is something bigger than just using the nutrition, because I saw so many people were there. They were all smiley. They were happy. They were jumping on the chairs. Everybody was excited. And
So,
that got me
sorry,
really excited.
Frederik, I wanted to ask you, when you started your furniture, where did you get your inspiration? And then you are only age 17. Where did you get the connection from all the way from Belgium to Bali? The first thing I want to ask you.
Yeah, so, well, I first traveled to Bali when I was 14 and a half. I already was about like 14 and a half, already started living by myself. So I was already out of my parents' home because
Wow.
they got divorced. And that was a blessing. Many people say divorce is so bad, but for me, that was a blessing. I was
Yeah.
happy they separated because they finally stopped fighting, and I was kind of free, and I was working part-time and I was studying. And then I had made a trip to Bali when I was almost 15, and that's when I got my first inspiration. Like, wow, you know, you have all this furniture, beautiful statues, and I didn't see that in Belgium. And then I also saw the price; it's so cheap for this furniture, and then in Belgium they're selling it so expensive. So that's when I started thinking, wow, I should maybe create a business like that.
And
Also,
then,
was very attracted to arts, to just
uh,
beautiful things. Yeah.
and then you execute it, you find your way to get connection and then import in. Incredible. But like from furniture to internet business, how do you get like doesn't match at all, right? So how do you get into the internet business?
Yes, it's a very good question. So what actually happened is I just took the opportunity. So in 1998, most of the domain names came free, like you know, .be, .com, all these are domain names, and you could actually just register a list of domain names. So I got a whole list of domain names from Belgium and from the Netherlands, and I had to do something with it because they were all good names, and I had to do something with it. So I was like, okay, let me learn something. Let me learn how to make a website. Let me learn something new, and maybe I can grow something from it. So it's actually the curiosity of always looking and learning and growing. And I think that's key. And learning to be flexible, to learn something new. And I'm an adventurist. I love new adventures. So
Yeah.
if you throw something new at me, I love it. So for me, it was just exciting to try something new. Yeah, and
Wow.
that's how I got started in the business.
So guys, listen to this. First thing, you need to be, willing to have an open mind for new things, and then, always have the yes, say yes first, right? And then second is learn how to, just have passion to learn new things. And that is one of I think what Frederik was mentioned. Okay, from there, you see the missing part, which is you're building the internet business, doing so well, but like on the other hand, you're putting on weight, and then there's a growing part, right? So you ask, and then you find, how do you find your coach? To be honest,
I
how
found
do
my
you find
coach through the workfromhome.com website. I think that time it was run by John and Susan Peterson. And he actually bought like 10, 20 leads, and I was one of them. And he just tried it for the first time. So for him, it was also just his first trial. And that's how he called me, and he was from the UK. And I was interested in his story, and he was excited about the product. So that's how I got started. Yeah.
Cool, awesome. So like besides that, what you name yourself? Like right now, what you are lifestyle coach, or like can you give us some names so we can know how to describe Frederik?
Well, it's challenging because I do so many different things. So I kind of adapt to the scenario where I am. Because, of course, I'm doing Herbalife. I'm in a team at Herbalife. I'm an investor. I have multifamily and single-family homes that give me passive income. I'm a best-selling writer of the Law of Attraction Planner. So I do all kind of things. And I'm also an investor. I'm doing also a lot of like stock trading. So, but most of the time what I do is what I tell to people is that I'm in the business of helping people to create a better life for themselves. So that's mainly what I use, because whatever, I always look at how can I help somebody. So if they want to be helped in nutrition, I will recommend them to use Herbalife. If they want to start a business from home, I will tell them Herbalife. Whatever they need help in, I will just kind of transform alone. Yes.
Yeah. So being what we do, right? We have so many things we can offer. So like besides being a lifestyle coach, which is more on like really giving people like health solutions, but you also a person giving an opportunity, the vehicle to help them to improve their financially. So like you can also consider putting another way of name yourself, right? So
Yes.
like you are coach for people, how to make people life better, you see. So I wanted to ask you a second question. You were already successful in the business before you met Herbalife. So what makes you get started in the Herbalife business? What is the story? And then why you say yes for the opportunity as well?
Yes, so that's a very good question. You see, many people in the beginning, when you have no money, your first goal is to make more money. Once you have money, why do you want money? If you ask yourself that question, I think the main reason is because you want to be happy. You want to improve your life. And for me, okay, money was resolved, and I was looking, okay, I want more happiness in my life, and I wasn't having the health. So Herbalife helped me to become healthy. Because at the end of the day, you can have all the money in the world, but if you are not healthy, you're not going to be happy. So for me, my number one asset in life is my health. So this is my biggest investment every single month. No, my biggest investment is charity. My second biggest investment is my health every single month. And so I got really attracted about that idea, and that's when I started Herbalife. And the second thing that really attracted me was personal development, personal growth, because I'm really grateful I was introduced to Herbalife. Even I was already doing good in business, I still had really not a good attitude. I had a lot of negative thoughts. I had a lot of negative views about life. So I still had a lot of challenges with myself. And through Herbalife, I really learned to work on myself. I was introduced to Jim Rohn, who said, for things to change, I have to change. For things to get better, you need to get better. So these kind of ideas and philosophies really got me excited. So it was really the personal development, the community. But it's also really nice in Herbalife is that there's a group of community of all people that are positive, excited. They all want to move forward in life. And that's something amazing, because I think many of you who are listening, who are not maybe full-time yet Herbalife, if you go to normal office, that's not really the environment. Most people are they hate it to go to their job. They're not really happy. They are not happy about their life. And in Herbalife, that's really different. The energy, people are excited to move forward, to make progress. So that got me really attracted. And then the last thing that really got me attracted is to help others, because for me, the main reason why I kept doing Herbalife over the years was really just the excitement to see other people grow, to help them to move to the next level. There's so much joy in that, because if once you're financially free, you will realize that the biggest joy I get is by contribution, by giving back. And that's my main focus. That's why I created the planner also. That's why I do Herbalife. It's just helping people to grow, helping people to move forward. There's so much satisfaction in that.
So like, but at the beginning of, started Herbalife, you start from also from a supervisor point of view, right? And
Yes.
What are your mindset in that time? And
Yes, my mindset at that time, like I said, my attitude wasn't so good. I had a positive mindset in the fact that I was very determined. If I decide to do something, I do it. I don't shift. So I loved the game plan of Herbalife, so I was attracted, so I decided to do it. But my mindset wasn't so good. And it was actually thanks to the events, to going to all the big events, especially the extravaganza and all the weekly and monthly events, that my life really changed and transformed. That's when my attitude changed. That's why my mindset changed. Because for me in the beginning, I was giving lots of excuses. I didn't really want to go to the meetings. I kind of said, okay, I know that already. I don't need to spend my time there. And after I realized that I was wrong, that I still had so much to learn, and I still see that today. We always got to be students, always keep learning and growing. So that's what got me attracted, that endless growing and learning.
So like for some of you, if you are very new today, part of why we're so excited being a coach or enthusiastic and always positive, high energy, is because we are trained to how to develop our mindset. And then we believe if our mindset grow, our quality of coaching also grows, right? And then same time, to give you that kind of service is also is for a different level. But at the same time, if you talk about one thing I always appreciate is the events. Most of the people hate event because they think, oh, it's just another event, right? But for us, event is the place to really eye open and recharge our battery, and then to learn and grow with each other. And for me and Frederik, probably we only see once or twice a year in the events. And then that's why we see each other is like a reunion session events. So that is the time we talk and then we celebrate, right? Okay, so like Frederik, number 3, we know each other for so long. It started in Malaysia. And why Malaysia? And what is your experience? And like, what was the challenges back then? And what you learned and things you accomplished when you were living in Malaysia? Okay, so start from, why Malaysia first?
Why Malaysia? Well, I was doing Herbalife in Belgium, and the first year that I got started, my business was actually growing really fast. I built a huge customer base, and then after that, when I had started building a big team, we had a lot of negative publicity about Herbalife in Belgium because of the pharmaceutical companies. They were attacking. They don't like people to be healthy, so it was everywhere in the news about, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, and all these kind of things were happening on the news and newspaper. So most of my business honestly collapsed. Then I rebuilt it, and it was doing well. And then my coach actually invited me, and he said, okay, Malaysia is going to open. There was Greg Jones, and he said, are you interested to come along? And because I know you love to travel, I said, yeah, of course. So for me, it was just the adventure. I was just like, okay, new adventure, yeah, why not? So I checked for Malaysia, and I saw, okay, all this beautiful nature, beautiful beach. So I was very attracted to go. And I actually, everywhere in my apartment, I started putting posters about, this is actually true, because I'm not saying the full story. Before he invited me already, all around my apartment, I had posters of islands, of crystal blue water. And in Europe, you don't have that kind of islands. In Malaysia, you have beautiful islands. But I didn't know that. So I was looking at all these posters every day. And I think only a few months after, that's when my coach called me and said about Malaysia is going to open. So I decided to go. I said, okay, I'm going to come for just 2-3 months, and I see if I like it. and else I'm gonna go back to Belgium. So I said, just gonna make the decision. So I went to Malaysia, and I just immediately fall in love because the people are so friendly. I love the beautiful beach, the nature. I love the adventure of opening a new country. And then also, to be honest, one big part which was huge benefit was the tax benefit, because just to give you a different idea, in Belgium, I was paying 55% tax. Okay, so if you make, say, $20,000 a month, you have to pay $12,000 to the government. Okay, just to give you an idea, and then you still have to live and all that. So I didn't like that system because they are rewarding, and mostly they're giving the money just for free to people who are not working. So I don't really like that concept. And in Malaysia, things are different. People are working for themselves. They're building their own future. Yes, the government, they charge some tax, but not crazy. So, so you guys are very lucky in Malaysia. You got to appreciate that. And that's when I got started in Malaysia. I had a lot of challenge in the beginning because the cultures are different. So I invited, like, I think my first meeting, I invited like 30 plus people. I had 30 plus guests to come. And it was raining that day. And I was waiting. Nobody came. And I was like, what's happening?
Was it the Mandarin Oriental event?
Yes,
Oh my
Mandarin
God.
Oriental.
I remember that.
So there was the Mandarin Oriental, and I had like 30 guests. It rained, and nobody came. For Europe, that's uncommon, you know. When I invite, say, 10 or 20 guests, I would have at least 5 or 12 coming, you know, minimum 50%, right? And in Malaysia, it was like nobody said something must be wrong. And then I've been asking around, and eventually I found out, like, yeah, if it rains, people just say, oh, it rains. Okay, la, I don't go to the meeting anymore. I'm like, okay, that was really surprising. So I had to go to all these culture differences and changes. In the beginning, it was a bit challenging, but still, I love the adventure.
And you have to, you know, Malaysian are so nice. They are super friendly. They always say yes.
Exactly,
Yes,
yes.
but you probably sometimes you will never see them, right?
Yes.
Sometimes we realize that after, you know, you're living here for a while. All right, so like you know, besides all this, what you have learned from Malaysia, and then what other things you have accomplished before you move to another place, or which city you've been living or island you've been living to?
So my first thing that I learned is it was for me a big decision to come to Malaysia because I had to sell everything, and I gave away my dog, and I really loved my dog, so it was really hard. But I'm so happy I made that decision, because I see if I would just have stayed in Belgium, it would have kept me so small as a human being, because by traveling and moving, you just grow in so many ways. By being exposed to new cultures, you grow in so many ways. You learn to be more flexible. You learn to see things from a much wider perspective. So, but because I made that decision, and it was a tough decision to make, I also made my commitment once I went back to Malaysia that I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to build something good. So, and that's something I recommend all of you if you're getting started. You know, you see, Herbalife is so cheap to get started. You can get started for almost nothing. And there is a problem with that. The problem is your commitment is too small. So it's very easy to give up. And that's where you stop your own success. So for me, leaving Belgium and selling all of that was a very big decision. So my commitment was there. I kind of burned my boats, and I wanted to make it happen. So I think that's the first biggest reason also why I was successful in building a good team in Malaysia by doing that. So that's the first lesson I learned. The second lesson that I learned is learning to become flexible, learning to work with different cultures, different ways of doing, and to be open for that, and to be present with that, which means, because some people have challenges with that, they resist something new. But if you want to build a team like all around the world, for example, it's important to learn to work with different cultures. So be open. Being open-minded is something I learned. I moved all around Malaysia: Kuala Lumpur, Kuantan, Terengganu, Cengka, all kind of small places. Kota Kinabalu, I stayed there also for a while. I've been to almost all the islands, except for some few ones that you mentioned lately that I'm still gonna visit.
Yes.
So yeah, I was mostly working 3 weeks, very focused, and then I would go for 4 days, 5 days every month to an island just to recharge and come back. That was mostly my plan.
So for you, actually, you see at the beginning, our the whole, just want to let most of you know, the beginning part of Herbalife Open in Malaysia is completely different what you see right now. It's more like a recruitment driven, building business, and that was the time when we moved to Malaysia. And but slowly, we when Frederik say it's being flexible, we have to decide how we gonna adapt the culture and also how to build our business in sustainable way. So Frederik, can you share, because for you as well, you make a big change from recruitment base to what you build, the nutrition club in different city, right? So can you share a little bit of that?
Yeah, so when I was first going to Malaysia, I still had a little bit the mindset of like recruit. And actually I was building my my business on the sand. And many people do that. They just, okay, sign up as many people as possible. But you've got to know that every person you sign is a human being. And something that I really learned when I was also during traveling, because when my first year in Malaysia, my business went up really fast because I was recruiting like crazy. I think over 300 people that I recruited first line at the time, and it was going really, really fast. But then Ramadan happened, and the business completely collapsed in 1.5 months because I didn't know what Ramadan was, Hari Raya, and most of my team stopped working, so everything kind of collapsed. So, and that's when was my wake-up call. That's when I realized I was not building my business in the right way. And I decided to travel. I went for a trip to South America, and there I was introduced to the nutrition clubs. And that's when I met Socrates Valencia, who's a 40K president's team. And he taught me really about all the ideas of building a person, not just a business. So your main focus is on building a person, helping a person to grow. And I love that idea, and that's what the Nutrition Club was all about, is helping people one-on-one, spending much more time, a lot of personal development, a lot of growth. So I was really shifting from recruiting. I was still recruiting, but recruiting with the intention to grow people and to spend a lot of time on personal development. So, and that shifted my business a lot. And eventually, in the beginning, it was much slower, but if I look now, the business just keeps growing. My team is now out of control. They just keep growing. We're having a new president's team. Nick and Mila just qualified press team. We have Iman and Ida are going to finish their last month, this month, president's team.
Wow.
So we have so many people. Ido did his first month. So we have many people are qualifying, and the organization is becoming bigger and bigger. And now we have many people who are making more money in Herbalife than I make in Herbalife. But that's great. That's the whole idea. And that's because you're working on building people. So that's what's my big shift, is to do a lot of personal development, a lot of working on growing here in the mind first.
Very good. I think all of us also need to understand this. When you decide to do something, doesn't mean it grow instantly. It takes some time. People need to herbalize. People need to grow for enough, the culture, the nutrition, the mission, and everything. So it takes some time. So it's not like an instant noodles or microwave. So you have to really always remind yourself being patient, right? So like, okay, I wanted to ask you also, I think a lot of people over here, they love the culture, they love the mission, and then they start talking to people, but they also have the dilemma of like, okay, I'm so scared to burn my bridge, and then and have this as a comfortable job, but I love what I do, like in Herbalife, right? So how do you so have a this guts to burn your bridge completely, and then did you really like just close down all your online like internet business and full time in Herbalife? Tell us more because we would love to know.
That's a good question. So for me, my physical business are closed down in Belgium when I came, but my online business, I still had some running. So but when I came to Malaysia, most of my time was focused on Herbalife initially. After I still spent some 2-3 hours a day maintaining my online business. And that's something I really recommend for people. Like if you get started in the beginning, work part-time first, but become very disciplined with your time. If you with your time can become very efficient with just a few hours a day, you can become very efficient and you can double your current income. That means your Herbalife business is equal to your full-time job. Then it's a time to start making a change. That's where you can go, for example, half-time working, then you go another half-time Herbalife. And then once your income doubles again, then you can decide, okay, I'm going to go full-time. So I think you got to build a discipline first, because if, for example, if you never used to work by yourself and then you suddenly go full-time and you don't have the habits, the attitude of working, you're not going to use your time properly, except if every situation is different. So for me, I kind of already had that attitude and mentality to work. So you have to determine for yourself, like how disciplined are you? What are your habits? If you're a very disciplined person, you're a very focused person, there's no wrong about instantly saying, okay, I'm going to stop working and I'm going to do full-time Herbalife. For example, a good story is with my good friend Idros that I signed up. He was a CEO and he had a job of 25,000 ringgit that time. And I introduced him to Herbalife and he was doing it part-time for only like 2-3 months, but he hated his job. And his job was taking all his energy and he just could not stand it. And he asked me, what do I do? I said, it was follow your heart. What does your heart say? What do you want to do? You want to do Herbalife, you want to grow this, or you want to stay in your job? And that's when he decided, okay, I got to go. And he called me that same night and he said, okay, I resign. I'm closing down my, my CEO job. I'll send my resignation letter and I'm leaving it. I'm returning my BMW. And he was fully committed. And within a very short time, in only 6 months, he was making in Herbalife already the same money that he was making as a CEO, but he was only working 6 hours compared to 14 hours a day. Wow. So it's all up to you. You got to decide what is your willpower, your why, what is your current situation. But if you hate your job, why stay there? It's draining your energy, it's draining your motivation. If you love your job, great, then do Herbalife part-time. And then once you love Herbalife more, then go full-time Herbalife. Either way.
Wow, that's some of you might already start taking it. Your year. Okay, so I'm gonna jump one question. I'm gonna go to the next one. So can you share with us about your life philosophy, and also can you share with everyone over here what is your version of law of attraction, and why should people pay more attention and practice law of attraction?
Okay, that's a good question. So my life philosophy is we are creators, and you can write that down for yourself. I'm a creator. For me, myself, I believe that we don't just live one life. I believe we live many lives. I kind of know that. And I believe the universe is forever expanding, and we are creators. We are part of that expansion. We keep creating, and law of attraction is happening to us every day. We are creating all the time. The question is, are we creating on automatic, or are we creating with intention and focus? Most of us, we are creating automatic. That means we are not really aware of it, but we keep creating the same pictures in our life, the same things happening in our life. And that's why people get stuck. They feel like, why is this always happening to me? Why do I get stuck? So to change that is you got to start thinking on paper. And that's why I created the planner also, is you want to start creating a vision for yourself on paper. So for me, I think life is too short. You really want to maximize it. You want to create the most amazing life possible. and you want to start envisioning it on paper, there's so much power in you just writing down your vision on a piece of paper. It's unbelievable. You just think it like this, like you are a movie writer. You are writing your own movie by just writing it on paper. And that's what the law of attraction is about, is your focus creates your energy flowing that way, and that brings into your life the things that you want. Now, there's a lot of challenges, and if I have time, I'm very happy to go into that. Is why for some people, they have challenges with the law of attraction, of what's holding them back in the law of attraction. Because many people know, okay, I can imagine something and then I bring it into my life, but it's not working because they're running on automatic. So there's a lot going on in there that stops people from growing, because most of the time we're standing on our own handbrake. So for me, my philosophy is we are a creator. And my second philosophy is I want to create the most amazing life I can in the best possible way. And I believe in progress. I want to be happy as much as I can. And to be happy in life, you want to progress in life. If you're not happy right now, there is a reason why you're not happy. And one of the biggest reasons probably is that you're not feeling any progress in your life. You kind of feel stuck. So you want to change that. How do you change it? Take a piece of paper and start writing down what you want to change. That's where you put the law of attraction in action. Because if you don't change it, the law of attraction is still working. What happens in your mind, you think, oh, I feel stuck, I feel not happy. You keep creating that same life over and over until you make the decision to say, okay, no, it's done. I want to get out of this. When the pain is strong enough, you will make a change. So for me, that's one. The second thing is giving back. I love to give back. One of my biggest projects now that I envisioned 3 years ago was to plant 1 million trees. And today we will have, I will have donated to plant 1 million trees. So it's just amazing what we can realize if we just put that intention in our mind. And for me, giving back is one big thing. I love giving back because there's so much happiness in that, so much joy in that. So that's also my philosophy. So yeah, I can go more deep in law of attraction, but maybe that's one of your other questions, Jan.
This is amazing because I think a lot of people heard about law of attraction, and some of them, they've been hear from me. I talk about law of attraction, attitude for gratitude, and all this. But like, I think most of them are really, in terms of get down to action, how to practice that. That is the most challenging stage for most people, right? And so besides writing down, right, what are the other things they can do to start practice of law of attraction? And then how to pay more attention, how people pay more attention of law of attraction as well.
Okay, I prepared a special training for that. Do you want me to run that now or at the end?
Everyone, are you ready? If you're ready, we do it now. Okay, let's do it.
Okay. So let me get my slides. How do I share this with you? I'm not so familiar with Zoom yet.
Okay, so like bottom, there's a share screen.
Okay.
And then you can click the share screen. You found it?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you share screen, you can.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I think it's on your where is the share screen?
You can press F5.
F5. I have a Mac. There is no F5.
Okay, so like on the top, on top of your right, on top of top right,
yeah.
Your top right. There's a share. You see? Here.
Yeah, I'm sharing already. It says I'm sharing.
Okay. Play from
do you see my screen?
Okay, perfect.
Good. Okay, yeah. Perfect. So the first thing for the law of attraction is the first principle is to take 100% responsibility for your life. Okay, you see, when you keep thinking at the moment that whatever life you're in right now, that it's, if you're not happy about your current situation, for example, and you think somebody else is the fault of that, then you're holding back your ability to manifest in life. So that's the first thing. You got to get out of the victim mentality and you got to go into the winner's mentality if you want to use the law of attraction for you to manifest your dream life. And that is by taking 100% responsibility of your life. So if there's currently a situation that you're not happy about in your life, you just have to know and accept that it's your choice, that you have created this. So that's the first thing, because if you keep neglecting that, what happens is you kind of stop your ability, your huge power to manifest more in your life. So that's rule number one. And then second rule is you got to know that you are making the decisions. So it's by your daily decisions that you're going to lead to a huge outcome. It's like planting a tree. You make a decision, you plant the seed, and eventually in 3, 5, 10 years, that's going to become a big tree. Same as, for example, you made a decision to do Herbalife. Okay, do it with full intention, full focus. What will happen is that little plant will become a tree and a huge tree eventually, and will give you lots of fruits. So that's what decisions do. If you make the right decisions in life, they're going to lead to a lot of big trees that's going to give you a lot of fruits. So you have to know that. So you are on the steering wheel. Remember that. You're making decisions. And then it's important to understand the difference between intentions and goals. You see, many of us, we set goals, but we forget to set intentions every single day. For me personally, intentions are even more powerful than setting goals. I love setting goals. I think everybody should do it. If you want to make the law of attraction work for you, you want to set goals on paper. You want to set short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. But you also want to set intentions every single day. And intentions are a little bit like goals, but they are more flexible. For example, the intention of every morning waking up and saying, okay, I'm going to create an amazing day. And that's a very powerful intention. If you just do that, what will happen is your focus will shift toward creating an amazing day. So intentions leads to positive focus. So that's something you want to practice every single day. So the same is when you do a meeting, for example, or you do a presentation for a customer, you first, before you start the presentation, you make the intention, I will give the best I can to help that person. That's an intention. And that's something you do before every single event or any moment. Like, for example, before any action, set an intention first. What do you want to manifest before you do it? And that's what I call segment visualization. You see, many of us, we learn about visualization, right? Okay, visualize my big goals. And what I see a lot of people doing is when they first watch The Secret or they read the Law of Attraction books, they get so excited and they put these huge goals like, okay, I want to earn $100 million, or I want to be a billionaire, or whatever it is. They want to put these huge goals, but currently in their bank account, they're either at zero, or maybe they only have 10,000, 20,000, or 50,000 or less ringgit in their account. And then they're thinking about this big picture of wanting to earn 100 million or 10 million or 1 billion or whatever the big goal is. You see, that's too far away. What's going to happen in your mind is your mind is going to say, that's impossible. So what happens now? Your focus shifts to impossible. And how do you do it differently? You want to set those big goals, great. You can have those as a very long-term goals. But you want to have small and mid-term goals. And those you want to visualize. You want to make those mid-term goals very small. It's like, imagine this, like if you're in school, and they ask you to jump over the bar. Okay, did you ever do that in school, like jumping over the bars?
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine if that bar would be set so high that you would look at it and say, oh, no way, I cannot jump over that. So what you do here is similar. We don't put the bar all the way to the top first. We bring the bar down until the level that you say, okay, I can make this, I can do this. And then you run and you jump. And what happens then in school? They set the bar a little bit higher. And then what do? Because you remember that you managed to jump over it the first time, you believe, I will be able to jump over it the second time. So when the bar is set a bit higher, you can jump over it. And this is the same system. Step by step, we're setting the bar higher and higher, and eventually you jump over that highest bar. And the same is in the law of attraction, because if you instantly set these huge goals, your mind will just not believe it, and you will paralyze. And that's where most people procrastinate because they set impossible goals for their mind. Now, I'm a strong believer, everything is possible. So yes, set that big goal there, have it on your vision board, have it in your goals, but set lots of small goals, especially when you just get started. And these small goals, what you want to do with them is you want to do segment visualization. Now, these goals could be even so small, like for example, okay, today I want to contact 5 people. For some of you are new, 5 people, okay, that's the first step, or 10 people. Now, what happens each time when you achieve that? What happens here in your mind? You start believing, I can do it. It's possible for me. So you are conditioning your subconscious mind that you are a winner, you are a powerful manifester. And that's how you, step by step, you increase your ability to manifest more and more and more. So this is super important because I see so many people doing that wrong. Myself, the first time when I was introduced to law of attraction, I did it the right way because I was reading the book Think and Grow Rich. And I set small goals, 6 months goals. And what happened is, once I had my little vision board made and I put it next to my bed, and in Think and Grow Rich, they recommend you, and I also really recommend that, every morning before you wake up, you look at your vision board. And then you imagine for a while that you're living that life. And then every night before you go to bed, you look at your vision board again. And at night, you will start dreaming about what you want. And that's so, so powerful, because at those moments, your mind is in like an alpha brainwave state and theta wave state. What happens is your subconscious mind is open. And that's the most powerful moment for you to reprogram your mind and to manifest. So the first thing in the moment, as soon as you wake up your eyes, and the last moment at night are the most powerful. Now, what I used is I used a little vision board and I had 6 months goals. What happened after 6 months, 95% of those goals came true. Now, what did that do with my belief system? It was like, wow, everything is possible. I was so excited. And then I made a mistake. I made a vision board with like extremely big goals. And what happened then is I was working on it. In the beginning, I was excited, but then I realized, well, it's like too possible. And I was paralyzed. I stopped being proactive. I was giving a lot of excuses, and I didn't achieve most of my goals at the time. That's when I realized I did something wrong. So I went back, I put it in a lot of small goals again, and then step by step, these small goals came true. And then eventually those big goals also came true. So this is super important that you remember that. Have all these type of goals. And always do segment visualization, just small visualizations during the day, like imagining about meeting a certain person that you didn't see for a long time, or imagining just your presentation with your customer to lead to a good end. Just visualize that before you do the presentation. And that's how you're training yourself. Remember, using law of attraction is a bit like you're going to the gym. You got to train your muscle. So you got to train your power of visualization the same way. You cannot expect that you can suddenly do like a 200-pound bench press. It doesn't work like that. You have to build it up. So this is the same concept. So you're training your muscle by doing small segment visualizations every single day. It's super important. And that's why I also have this in the planner mentioned to use that. So another important step is to focus on making it the #1 priority to become a better person. You see, many of us, we set goals of material things we want, the newest iPhone, the newest car, the newest toy, and that's great. I don't say that's wrong. You can still have that there. But if you really want to move forward even much faster and you want to be more happier, what I recommend to do is you set goals of the person you want to become. You said, see, if you, for example, if your goal is, okay, I want to become a multimillionaire, for example, or I want to reach that level. Okay, what type of person do you need to be? Just think about that. Focus on what kind of attitude should you have? What should be your daily routines? What should be your daily actions? What are the things you want to learn? And those things you want to visualize. You want to visualize yourself first becoming that better person. Once you visualize that you can become that better person, it's much easier to do than visualizing you having the toy. And once you do that, what happens is you automatically, you increase your energy, you increase your manifestation powers, and then all the things that you want to have in your life will come also much faster, eventually. Because we are like, we are energy beings, we kind of attract, so the bigger our energy becomes, the easier we attract. So you want to make it your main priority to become a better human being. That's why the greatest people in life, if you in history, if you look at them, they were all about a bigger intention to do good for the world. And by doing that, they were able to manifest such powerful events around the world. For example, if you look at Gandhi, is a perfect example of that. So then always remember that you are focusing every moment on something. Either you are focusing on the negative or you're focusing on the positive. So that's your choice. You can focus about your problem, your complaints in life, your misfortune in life, or you can focus on all the beautiful opportunities you have in life. So you got to become really aware and conscious about every single moment. What are you focusing on? Because what also happens to people is they set this one-time goal, but then the rest of the day they are thinking negative. They're thinking about what's wrong in their life. They're focusing on everything that's not good in their surrounding. So my question to you is, when you enter a room and you enter a new space, where does your focus go? Does your focus go to all the things that's good there, or what's wrong? And you got to analyze yourself very well and be honest with yourself. That's part of taking 100% responsibility. If you realize that you enter a room and you mostly see first what's wrong, that means you got to rewire your brain. You got to reprogram your brain. You want to make this simple practice every single day. Is to each time when you go into a new place, you want to look at 5 things you appreciate about that place. 5 things you like about the place, because that's how you're going to train your brain to focus on what's good in life. Because if you don't do that, what is going to happen is you're going to have these goals there, but your mind is, the rest of the day, 95% of the day, you're focusing on all the things that are wrong in life. You cannot manifest that dream life. It doesn't work like that. You got to work on every single moment in the day also. That's super important. So where your focus goes, your energy flows. And remember, each time when you criticize something or when you think negative about something, you're sending negative energy. What do you think is going to come back in your life? Negative energy. Exactly. That's what's going to happen. So you want to really, each time when you see somebody, you want to give them a compliment in your mind. You want to say them a compliment. You want to give love wherever you go. Then the more love comes in your life. Simple like that. So then stay a student, be open-minded, because super important. If you want to grow using the law of attraction, you want to stay a student. That's super important. You never stop learning, always keep growing. Because one thing that I recommend you to do is, then that's something I did for years, and I'm still doing that today, is to take 30 minutes to 2 hours a day to learning, to do personal development. That transformed my life completely. Still today, even I have most of the things that people want in their life, I still spend at least an hour to 2 hours every single day learning and growing. And that's super important. Because why? Because you are putting all this good stuff into your mind. So what happens during the day, you focus on these good things and you attract more good things in your life. So it's just an endless circle. It's like a garden. You have to maintain it. Even you achieved your goals, you still got to maintain your garden, because if you don't, what's going to happen? The bugs are going to come and they're going to destroy your garden. So super important. So practice what you learn. Many times we read books, we listen to these seminars. It's very important to practice. Practice just like you're going to the gym until it becomes a habit. Super important. Then reward yourself for small steps of programs, because we in our mind, if we have these little goals, and for each little goal we achieve, we reward ourselves, what happens in our brain? What does our brain wants to do? The next time you have a new goal, it instantly wants to take action. Yeah. You see, most of us, this is the biggest challenge we have, why we procrastinate, is we set big goals and then we want to take action and we feel like a failure, we don't succeed, and we beat ourselves up. And what happens then is the next goal comes and our mind already says, no, 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 I don't want the goal. And we freeze, we stop taking action. So that's why I designed it also in a planner, is every day you set a little goal for yourself and every day you give a reward to yourself, because that's how you rewire your brain to focus and finish your goals and get rewards. And then after a while, even you don't give the rewards, your brain will automatically want to take action. That's how you stop procrastination. And that's also part of the law of attraction. Then the another is treat your body as a temple. We know that Herbalife it's all about treating your body as a temple. If you do that, your life becomes so much better. You can become so much healthier. You have so much more energy. Because if you want to be a powerful manifester, you want to feel good in your body. If you feel crappy in your body and you eat all the fast food and you feel sick and tired all the time, it's very hard to stay in a positive mindset. One reason why so many people in Herbalife are so happy is because they take good care of their body. So that's major, very important pillar for your happiness. So then another part is about money. I know many of you want to become a wealthier, financially free, right, in your life. So you got to learn how to manage your money, because it's also part of law of attraction. You see, if every time you look at your debts and you focus on your debts, what you do, you create more debts in life. So what you want to do is you want to have an automatic debt payment program that automatic your debts every month, it deducts from your account and it pays off your debt. And then you can focus on building your net worth, building more money in your life. So that's something I really recommend. I see even people at higher levels in Herbalife, they still don't get that and they overexpend and they get themselves into financial problems. So you don't want to do that, because if you have good money management skills, and I recommend you to read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. These books I would recommend, because they're going to give you, and the Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, they will give you the right mindset around money, super important. Now, if you really want to boost your powers of law of attraction, I recommend you to connect with nature. That's my kind of little secret or temple where I always do my manifestations. I love nature. I just go for a walk. Why is nature so powerful to manifest? Is because what happens when you go in nature? You become very peaceful. You suddenly, in the beginning, your mind is busy with all your worries, and you just walk, and you breathe. And after a while, you become very peaceful. And when you feel peaceful and happy, that's when you want to visualize also all your dreams and goals. And you want to think about them, that you already achieved them. And it's super powerful. That's what I always do, because if you can visualize when you feel peaceful, it's so much more powerful than you visualize when you're stressed. I personally don't recommend. If you feel stressed, don't visualize. go first, feel good, do some exercise, breathe, and then visualize. Then same is with meditation. I love to do meditation practices, because just breathing every single day makes me peaceful. And then after I visualize, that's another part of learning to calm your mind, because most of our minds are like a wild monkey. And what happens is we are out of control. We don't know how to control our mind. Do you experience that your mind is going left, right? You want to focus on something, but your mind is thinking about other things. So you want to learn to bring peace in your mind. And to do that is to meditate, because else it's very hard. It's like your mind is like a wild ocean and you try to visualize your dreams. It doesn't work like that. You want to calm down the ocean and then visualize your dreams. So meditation and breathing is very powerful practice of that. I talked about segment visualization already and long-term visualizations. These are very powerful practices. Now, when you visualize, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you always see it from your own eyes when you visualize. Don't see yourself on the stage becoming a millionaire team or a president's team, but see yourself standing on the stage looking at the crowd. That's super important, because it's very different type of visualization. If you see yourself standing on the stage, you're giving your speech and your story, how you became a president's team, for example, that's a powerful visualization. So you always want to see it from your own eyes, super important, and you want to make it as vivid as possible. Now, I know some of you who are really new to this, you have a challenge with seeing pictures. That's why I recommend you start with small things. Start with visualizing meeting a new friend, or visualizing you to have a positive outcome that day. Visualize small things, because it's like training a muscle. After a while, you become better and better at it, and you can visualize more vividly. It's just practice, because we have not learn to do it. That's why it's so hard. But if you keep doing it every day, I can promise you, you will get much better at it, and you will manifest your dream life. Then another important thing is power of giving. Some of you have maybe watched The Secret, and one of the steps is when you want to learn to allow things to come in your life. And if you want things to come in your life, you have to learn to give. For example, if you have problems with money, I recommend you to give some money to charity. Small, it can be small amount, not asking you to give all your money, 5, 10%. I like 10%, but whatever the number is for you, start giving, and give it with an open heart. And if you want more happiness in your life, start giving more smiles. If you want more health in your life, start helping other people with health. You know, this is what happens is, if we do that, we're telling the universe there's enough supply for me. You see, most people say, yeah, but I don't have enough money. I cannot give money. Well, that's wrong. If you think like that, you're never going to have money. So you want to go show the universe that you're serious about this, that you believe in it, and you give first. And then what happens is the gates of manifestation open and money starts flowing into your life. So learning to give is super powerful. And I really recommend all of you to learn to set goals selflessly. You see, some of us set goals, okay, I want this car, or I want to achieve this level. And that's great, you can put that as a goal, but I recommend you to also make a shift to your goal. Okay, say for example, you want to become a Get Team or a Millionaire Team. What does that mean to you? What does Millionaire Team mean to you? Maybe Millionaire Team can be, say differently, that you're gonna help 80 people to build a solid part-time business. Because if you have around 80 people doing a solid part-time business, you will become a Millionaire Team. Example. You see, so you're focusing on helping people. You're not focusing on your own interest only. You learn to focus on helping others. I want to help 80 people to build a solid part-time business with Herbalife where they do at least 2,500 points. Okay, so that means what happens is you're gonna go to the Millionaire Team. This is an example. So you want to learn to set goals selflessly, not focused on just your outcome, but the bigger purpose. You see, same for me when I started. Lately, I did that with my planners. One of the goals was to sell over 100,000, 150,000 planners in 1 year. I didn't focus on that. I'm focused on how many trees can I plant, because each planner I sell, I plant 5 trees. So I was focused on, okay, I want to plant 1 million trees. So I was making that my focus. And with that 1 million trees, I can help 3,000 families, to feed 3,000 families. So that's my focus. And what happens is automatically that manifests in my life very easily. I see too many times people set goals just for themselves, and it stops your growth, stops your potential. So think differently, learn to transform your goal in giving back. Then learn to reflect, journal, and improve. It's so important every single day to just take a piece of paper and look back at your life. What did you do good? What did you learn? And how can you improve? Super powerful. You want to learn to think on paper. If you do that, first of all, your mind is going to become quiet. You see, if you want to be a powerful visualizer, you got to learn to make your mind quiet. It's very hard to manifest a lot of things in your life when your mind is always crazy busy, always thinking about things you got to do, things you didn't do, decisions you got to make. You want to make your mind empty. And to make your mind empty, you want to write in a journal. And there is a big difference with writing in a journal. That's why I created the Law of Attraction Planner than typing it on a phone. You know, it's proven by neuroscience that we will be up to 80–90% more successful in achieving our goal by writing it than typing it. We have very little new neural pathways are created when we type our goals. So you always want to write, super, super powerful. You also want to empty your mind. So any decisions you want to make, you want to think on paper. So you empty your mind so you can focus on the bigger picture, on the things that you want to achieve in life. Then the next thing that's super important is you want to keep your vibration high. You want to be happy most of the time, because if you are in a negative state, it's not the time to visualize. You want to bring yourself in a positive state first. Now, you got to ask yourself, why are you in a negative state? And one of the biggest reasons that I have discovered over time, the reason why we are in negative states is because we always judge things with like and dislike. Oh, I don't like this, or I don't like that. And we are judging things all the time. And what happens is it makes us just unhappy in life. So stop liking and disliking, learn to be neutral. You can love things is great, but especially stop disliking. Because if you, for example, in your business, you say, oh, I dislike calling people. For me, it's so hard to do. If you say that to yourself, you're stopping yourself. And you make your life miserable. Because everything you start disliking. I see that. Some people say, oh, the older you get, the happier you get. Do you hear that sometimes? So old people who are tired, they're happy. But we all know that's not true, because I meet people, they're 80 years old and they're miserable. And I see people 80 years old and they're super happy. And the only thing I notice different between those two is that the one who is miserable is always, I don't like this, I don't like that, don't like this. And after a while, they close themselves down and the whole world is dangerous for them. They hide, they get afraid. And the person who is very happy loves everybody, loves everything, and has no judgment. So this is super important. If you learn to do that, you learn to love everything, your vibration will be high, and then it's so much easier to manifest. That's why inside the planner, you see there is an energy spiral. I created that for a reason. The reason I created that is because I want to help people to move up their energy, to be happy. And I give them some steps and advice they can do to be happy. But one of the biggest one I wanted to give you now, because there's more ways to be happy, is to stop disliking. That's super, super important. And another part that's super important to be super happy is to appreciate everything. You know, everywhere you go, make it a habit. Everywhere you go, look at 5 things you appreciate about the place. Or every time when you meet somebody, think about 5 things you appreciate about the person. And just focus on that and learn to practice it. The first time I did this practice, I was, I think, 8 months in Herbalife, and they call it the miracle exercise. And what you do is you write down 5 things a day that you're grateful for, 5 compliments you had, and 5 things that you've been giving away that day. And in the beginning, my mind was saying, oh, that's so hard to do it. You know, I was doing it for a few days, but I kind of put it aside. I said, it's too time consuming. That's the story in my mindset. And then after I felt how my energy went back down, and then I said to myself, okay, I'm going to put the timer and I'm going to just do this exercise every day, and I'm going to measure how long it took me. It took me only like 4 to 5 minutes to write down those 3 lists of 5. And what happened by just doing it for 6 months, my life completely changed. I became so much happier focused. And it's something I recommend all of you to do if you notice that you have some struggles with that. Because once you take care of that, manifestation will be much easier. And then I have a last part. Maybe I can do that at the end, but this is like a 10 minutes morning routine where I put all these practices in a step-by-step process that you can do on a daily basis. So Jan, do you want me to do that now, or do you want me to do that at the end?
We can do it now.
Okay,
Are you
okay,
all
good.
ready? Are you all ready?
Yes, everybody's ready?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So you can write it down. So the first thing you do in the morning, remember the morning is so important. So as soon as you wake up, you want to do this. You don't want to wake up and straight look at your phone and be reactive, because that's what most of us do. And then we let other people control our life. You want to become in control of your life. So you put the phone aside and you do this as soon as you wake up. First thing you do is you breathe deeply for 3 minutes. And each time when you breathe in, I recommend you to learn to breathe from your belly. Don't breathe from your chest, because oxygen is energy. And breathe from your nose. Don't breathe from your mouth. We have so much more energy if we breathe from the nose. So you want to learn all day long, even when you exercise, to always breathe in and breathe out from the nose, not to use your mouth. You will notice it will give you lots more energy, better sleep, because we all know nutrition is important. We all know water is important. But let me ask you this question. How long can you survive without food? Well, we know that people can survive up to 3 months to 1 year without food. Now, how long can you survive without water? Probably a week, week and a half max, a few days. We need water. Now, how long can you survive without oxygen? Most of us, 5 minutes or less. We really need oxygen. So oxygen is a source of energy. So you want to learn to breathe properly. And Jan was asking me what a book that I can advise everybody. I would advise them to read Oxygen Advantage. It's an amazing book, and it teaches people how to breathe correctly, because most of us, we breathe completely wrong. I was breathing wrong, and I had to learn to tape my mouth when I was sleeping. So I was forcing myself to breathe through my nose. I really did that. And it worked like crazy. After a while, I started breathing more and more through my nose, and my energy, my sleep, everything improved. So what you do in the morning is when you wake up, you do 3 minutes of conscious breathing. You breathe from your tummy, and you breathe through your nose, and you breathe out. And you try to make your breath slower and slower. And each time when you do that, you feel grateful for the oxygen going in and the oxygen going out. Now, most of us, when we hear about gratitude practices, we think about we need to be grateful for something big. No. Learn to be grateful for simple things. The most important thing that you can breathe. And when you can do that, just to be grateful for the oxygen flowing in your body and flowing back out, it's an immense powerful practice. And that's how you can learn to boost your appreciation and gratitude power. So that's the first thing you do. After that, you do for 2 minutes, you will look up and you're going to be grateful for all the small things in your life. Now, why do I say look up? I want to do this with you together. I want you all to look down for a moment. Look down. Do this exercise together with me. Look down and think about all the things, some challenges you have in your life right now. Probably some challenges will start coming up. Now, when you look down, try to think about something good in your life. Okay. Now, look up. Look up to the ceiling, all the way up. And now think about anything that's going wrong in your life or negative things in your life. Now you will notice that it's very hard to come up. It's like you're blank. Now think about something you're positive about, happy about in your life, grateful for. Now, this is a simple, okay, everybody notice the difference? Yes? So when you look up, you instantly make your mind quiet. You basically don't give it any opportunity to think negative. So that's why in first thing in the morning, if you look up, it's much easier because some of us, and I had that same experience, I woke up in the morning and our mind was already busy thinking about all the worries and the stress we had. So you want to rewire that by just looking up and thinking about what you're grateful for. And that's how you're going to keep your mind quiet. And some of you, maybe you got to look up a little bit longer until your mind is quiet. So that's the second step you do. And you focus on all the things you're grateful for. And then what you do is you focus on all the most loving moments in your life. You see, many of us, we had amazing, beautiful moments in your life. Think about all the beautiful moments in your life. You close your eyes and you think about all the beautiful moments in your life. So you can do that now with me together. If you already write it down, you can just think for a moment about all the beautiful moments you had in your life. Whatever comes up, what is one of the most beautiful moments you had in your life? Maybe it's when you met your partner, maybe it's when your child was born, maybe it was when you achieved something, maybe it was your favorite vacation. And just think about that for a moment and just breathe that image into your heart. Just feel that image of love, appreciation, excitement. Just breathe that in. And then feel your heart expanding. And just feel grateful for that beautiful moment you had. If it was your child, you remember very well when your child was born, when you first look into their eyes. You can think about that moment and the love you felt, the gratitude you felt, the appreciation you felt. And what happens is your heart will start opening up. And if you feel you want to include a second moment in your life, you can bring in a second moment in your life. What is another moment that you felt appreciation, joy, happiness in your life? Just think about that moment. See that, relive that moment. And breathe that love into your heart, that appreciation into your heart. And what you will notice now is that you become really peaceful and loving and happy. And now keep your eyes closed. And what you're going to do now is you're going to keep your heart expanding. Keep your heart expanding. Put all that love. If it's I know there's probably many mothers who are listening. So if it was your child, remember that moment when you look at your child for the first time and the love you felt. And you feel your heart expanding. And now what you do is when your heart keeps expanding and expanding, I want you to send all that love you have in your heart to all the people you love in your life. Your father, your mother, your brothers, sisters, your children, your team, all the family members you have. Just keep sending them love from your heart. And then you can visualize the whole world just in front of you, in your hand, and you send love to the whole world, just to everybody on this planet. And you can feel a beam of love and light from the sun and from the stars coming into the center of your head, going down through your spine and into your heart, and feel how your heart is expanding even more and sending more love to everybody. And now when you're in that beautiful state, I would like you to just visualize you becoming the best version of yourself. See yourself becoming more positive, more happy. See yourself becoming a better leader. See yourself being loved by everybody because you're always kind, you're always giving, you're always there to give back. You have a very positive attitude. See yourself peaceful, happy. Now see yourself successful. See yourself achieving all your goals. See yourself going on the stage and see your whole team in front of you and you're getting your recognition. And feel that gratitude in your heart. See yourself living your dream life. Going to all the beautiful places around the world that you always wanted to go to. See yourself seeing all the beautiful sunsets around the world. And saying thank you. Thank you for my beautiful life. Just look at the sunsets and say thank you for my beautiful life. It's so amazing. I have so many blessings in my life. And then see your family members around you. See their tears in their eyes, see them looking at you and say thanking you so much for being there for them, for giving them this amazing life, for becoming that amazing, supportive, loving person for them, for being a light in their life. And look at them and tell them how much you love them. And just give them a huge hug. And then just put your hand on your heart for a moment. And then just say thank you, thank you. And if you believe in God, you say thank you, God. If you believe in the universe, whatever you believe in, just say thank you. Thank you for all my blessings. Thank you for my beautiful life. Thank you for making all my dreams come true. I love my life. I truly, deeply love my life. I love myself. And then now, before we open your eyes, you just focus and setting on this intention that for the rest of the day, your day will be beautiful. Just imagine every single moment of your day unfolding perfectly. See yourself happy. See yourself leaving this presentation happily, inspired, joyful, taking action, being the best version of yourself, being the light for this world, being light for others, and feeling proud of yourself for wanting to be that light, for giving so much back, feeling grateful every single moment. And then make a decision today to give back selflessly, to see how can you give something back without expecting anything back. Just focus on what can I do today to give back without expecting anything back, and set an intention to do that. And then now just end with a moment to say thank you to yourself for taking this moment to do this exercise. And say to yourself, I'm proud of you. I love you. Thank you for doing this. And what you can do now, which is another powerful practice that I do, is you can see yourself as a little baby or a little child. See yourself and see yourself holding you as a little child, little baby, and say, and look into your own eyes and say, I love you. You are special. You are gifted. You are amazing. I love you. I'm here for you. And we are creating an amazing life together. I'm so proud of you. I love you. Whenever you need me, I'm here for you. I love you. And give yourself a big hug and a big kiss. And just feel the love for yourself. And now when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. And just breathe in for a moment. And just look around. And just look around in your house and see everything that you appreciate about where you are right now. So everything that you appreciate. This could be just having a house, having a couch, having water to drink, having food when you want it. Whatever it is that you appreciate, just look at it. Awesome, well done, guys.
Wow. This is powerful. And then this is the visualizations, and then also the gratitude we are talking about. And, you know, just wanted to let everyone know, I actually pre-organized some of the questions for Frederik, and I don't need to ask, it's already there. I don't need to ask anything, and actually it's there. It's so powerful. And, you know, most of us, sometimes we constantly caught up in busy schedule routines, and then we forgot about how to appreciate ourselves, appreciate our life. And then, you know, just a few minutes, it makes such a big impact in us. For those of you, if you feel like, you know, there's a tears of joy, and you know, you feel there's something in you, you feel like you all of a sudden you feel release, and then that is very, very powerful. And to be honest, Frederik, I do visualization sometimes, but I never done on virtual version, and it is so powerful. And then we can give a big hand to Frederik.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh my God. So is there any question you all would like to ask? And just now, one more question is, I couldn't enough time. Is what's the book called? Oxygen of what?
Advantage. Advantage. Oxygen advantage.
Okay. The oxygen of advantage. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And if you would like to give everyone here something to, you know, hold on, let me see my question first. Give me a second. The last one. There's okay. What is one of notable encouragement or quote you have for everyone?
Oh yeah, I prepared actually one. Let me bring my slide back. Do you see it, my screen?
Yep.
Oh, okay, so good. So this is a quote that I recently wrote that when I was looking back in my life. What I think is also one of the most important things is to keep your intentions positive, because your intentions become your focus. You see, many of us, we are so focused on our action, and we forget that if you just keep focusing on your action or the moment that you're in right now, you are not fully using your manifestation power. So if you want to become master of your life, the very first thing you want to do is you want to focus on your intention. Because your intentions, what happens if you focus on good intentions, they become your positive focus. And your focus, they become your thinking. You see, many of us, we want to control our thoughts, but you cannot really control your thoughts. So you have 86,000 thoughts every day. It's almost impossible. But what can you control? Every morning when you wake up, you can control your intention. My intention could be, I want to create an amazing day. I want to be, that's an intention. Another for example of a good intention could be, I want to be appreciative every single moment. I want to be peaceful the whole day. I want to give my best every single moment. These are examples of positive intentions that you set in the morning. Now, what happens when you make that intention is amazing. They become your focus. And what happens when you focus, okay, I want to be happy, I want to be appreciative, then your focus becomes your thinking. Because what you focus on, if you focus on what you're grateful for, you start thinking about what you're grateful for. So that's how you control basically your thoughts, is by your intentions first. And what happens when you're thinking about what you're grateful for, your focus or your thoughts, your positive thoughts, they become your feelings. Because why do we have negative emotions is because we have, first of all, had a negative focus. Why do we have positive feelings? Because we had a positive focus. And then if you keep your feelings positive, what happens when you feel good? You take positive actions and you say positive things to others. And when you say positive things to others and you take positive actions, what happens? You get positive results. So what happens if you keep doing that, those actions, they become your habits. And what we all really want to do is we want to create good habits in life, because if we have good habits in life, life is kind of automatically manifesting more and more good for you. That's what you want to achieve. And that takes around 30 days to do. 30 days of consistency, keep putting positive intentions every single morning. And then what happens if you keep your habits positive? Because what happens if your habits are positive, your habits become your life destiny. They become your manifestation. So this is actually, in this quote, I kind of include most of the important things for you to manifest and to be a powerful manifester. And it all starts with intention. And then just keeping your mind positive. So one thing I recommend all of you is, I remember when I got started, like I said, my mind had so many negative thinking and thoughts and worries and fears, and that's very normal. I can tell you that's very, very normal. And the reason is simple, because we had a lot of negative input in our childhood and when we grow up, and you can change that. Now, unfortunately, you can look at it like this, like you have a glass of water and it's kind of dark. Now, unfortunately, you cannot just throw the water away. You will have to work on it every day. So you will have to put like clear drops in the water every single day. And that's what you're doing by positive intention, positive focus, working on yourself, saying positive things. You're putting clear drops in your water every single day. And eventually your water will be clear. That means your mind will be more peaceful. You will be more happy. You feel more relaxed. You feel more at ease. You become more successful in everything you do. And it's a journey. It will require discipline. It will require focus. It doesn't happen out of itself. But one thing I can promise is that if you stick to it, your life is going to be amazing. You're going to feel happy. You're going to create everything you want in life, and you're going to feel peaceful. You're going to feel joyful, and people around you will say, wow, what happened? And this doesn't happen overnight. It's a step-by-step process. So remember that, please know that it's a journey. Nobody changes their whole life overnight, but you change your direction overnight. So if every single day you can do a little bit better, that's huge. And reward yourself for it. Remember to reward yourself. And this simple practice that I just did, this visualization, this 10-minute morning routine, if you just do that every single day, imagine how powerful that is. It's super powerful. If you start your day like that, you know, your day is going to be different, because you set an intention of love, you set an intention of power, you set an intention of, I am a manifestor, the creator of my life, and I can create an amazing life for myself, for me, and people around me. And you become a light for this world, and that's what we need. And that's why I'm doing this, because I want more and more people to be happy, to be positive, to be a light for themselves and for their surrounding. But you can only be a light for yourself if you love yourself. if you truly appreciate yourself. That's why at the end I was doing this powerful practice, is to look at yourself as a child and to love yourself. And if you have a hard time with that, what I recommend you to do, is the last exercise I would share that's really, really powerful, is to find a small picture of yourself as a child and put it on the mirror. And every day you look at yourself as a child and you talk to yourself and you say, I love you. I truly, truly love you. You're amazing. You're special. And you give all these compliments that you needed so much when you were a child, that maybe you didn't get, because, you know, we all have a story of how maybe it wasn't not easy when you were a child, or you hear a lot of negative things from your family, your parents, and I had that, and you had that, and some of us got beaten up, and some have heard a lot of bad things when we were a child. But you can change that. You can go back and give yourself that love, and it's amazing what happens. If you just put that picture there, and every single day you give yourself that love, what happens is you feel so recharged, you feel so much better, and you can give so much more to the world. And so many more good things are going to come into your life because of having all that love for yourself. So be that loving parent for yourself and do that every single day. It's going to change your life.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Frederik. And, you know, for some of you, if you are interested in the Law of Attraction planner, right? And I got good news for you. And thank you so much, Frederik, to give us, you know, very, you know, actually, he gave us a promo code. So for those who would like to order this book, it's so powerful. It's a planner, and then I will send out this promo code, and then later on in the coaches group, or you can ask your coach to get it, and then you can get your planner for 25% off. Is it correct? Oh,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Amazing. Yeah, so like, so we can use this to, you know, really put the law of attraction into action, and then manifest for ourselves every day is a day to practice. It's amazing. So thank you so much. Is there anything anyone would like to ask, any questions before we end this? And then we would like to take a photo. Okay. Oh, Jason said your life is his dream.
Thank you.
Oh,
thank you, Jason.
So one of the things I wanted to share with before we take this photo, what I know is a few years back, Frederik you were having a heart surgery, right?
It wasn't a heart surgery, but I had my first rib removed because it was blocking my artery, and that's why I kept fainting.
And then so that was the time does it make a changes after that, when after you finally recovered with that?
Yeah, it did make, for me it was a very big challenge in my life, because I was so into health. I was doing everything for my health, and I was loved what I was doing, like with Herbalife, doing all these seminars and events, but eventually I couldn't because I kept collapsing, and it was kind of dangerous, so I had to take time off. So I took like 2-3 years off, and that's actually when I wrote the Law of Attraction Planner. And then I eventually found kind of the solution by the operation, because one of my arteries was blocked. It was something really weird. But that challenge became a blessing, because during that time I learned so much about myself. I did so much more practice on myself, meditation. I was going into everything I could do to improve my health and life. So I learned so much. I created the planner during that time because I was like, I wanted to help the world. And I wanted to continue my mission. I was thinking, okay, if I don't have the energy to always be there to do seminars and all that, how can I still help people? And I thought, okay, it's so important for people to have a tool, not just a book that they can study, but something they can practice, because I see so many people, they're learning things, but they're not practicing it. And I wanted to create something simple, easy to follow, that could change many people's life. And that's what I did during the time. So it was a blessing. And after it took some time to recover, and my heart rate has been improved a lot, because at that time I was like always, even I was sleeping, my heart rate was like 128. So it was really intense. And now it's all the way back to like 60, 70. So I'm very happy with that. So my life changed. Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much today. It's really powerful. And thank you for sharing a lot of, you know, the juice, I would say. And shall we take a photo first? Okay.
Yes,
Let's
of
take a
course.
photo.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Can someone help us to take photo?
Okay, I will take, yeah. Everyone turn on your screen. Page 1. Okay, page 2. Page 3. Page 4, last one. Awesome.
And it's amazing. And thank you so much, Frederik. Is there anything, all of us can support you in Malaysia for your team? Your team is growing like crazy. But if it's any moment you need our support, let us know.
Thank you.
And also, this is what the friendship we build in Herbalife. And now we are not from the same organization. In fact, actually, we are from the same relative. We are cousins. Yeah. So Craig Jones, right? Craig Jones is here. Queenie and Frederik is the same level. Make sense? Yeah. So we are under Queenie, right? So we are cousins, but at the same time we have no any what is that called? So any related, but at the same time, it's the friendship counts. So really appreciate. And so by saying all this, thank you. And if you need any support, or let us know. And for those who would like to order the Law of Attraction book, you can also let us know, and then we can order a bulk order. Okay? Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Love you.
Take care. Love you too.
Bye-bye. See you soon. I see you in Malaysia.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frederik.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Frederik. We love you.
Love you
Thank
too.
you, Frederik.
Thank you.
Take care. Stay
Thank
safe.
you.
Thank you.